Once again, welcome to my channel, and don't forget to subscribe so you can watch more of these amazing videos. Okay, today we're going to talk about the fall of mankind. We're going to talk about how man fell, how Adam fell in the Garden of Eden. And there's a misconception about this story. Okay, most people say that story is a parable, and the tree in the middle of the garden, I don't know, is I don't know, the private part. It's so absurd. And then they say that when Eve ate the fruit, it was sex. I don't know. And then they had sex, and then they found themselves naked, and then God was angry because they had sex. There are so many stories about the fall of mankind, and it's a misconception. It's wrong. It is very clear this was not a parable. It was a real story. It is, I can say it is literal the way it is. There were two trees. It's not only one tree. If you say that the tree of the knowledge of good and of evil, which Adam and Eve ate from, was sex, then what was the tree of life? Because there was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil and the tree of life. After they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, God sent a cherubim to go and protect the tree of the tree of life, so that they do not eat from it, so that the sin does not remain permanent in this world. Now you get my point. Now this had nothing to do with sex. When God created mankind, created Adam and Eve, He gave them a mandate to go and reproduce the world. How will they reproduce the world? You get my point? So I don't think it wasn't sex. It was a tree, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. It was a tree, and it was also a tree of life. They ate from the tree. That's why the second Adam, Jesus, was also tempted by eating. Satan said that if thou be the Son of God, turn this stone into bread. You get my point? It's the same pattern. And the Bible says that cursed is he who hangs on the tree. That's why on a tree Adam fell, and on the same tree on Calvary Jesus died and restored our dominion back. You get my point? So it had nothing to do with sex. It was a tree. That's why Jesus was also crucified on a tree. Adam fell on a tree. Jesus brought back the victory from a tree, which was the cross. So there's nothing about sex. Please, let us stop blaspheming the word of God. It is not sex. It was just a tree, and it's a true story. Now, why did God create mankind? That's the question. And I had a song sometimes back. We say that in Kiswahili, nilikuumba ni kuabudu, uliniumba ni kuabudu. It's a nice song. I really love it. It's very inspiring. It's full of the anointing of God, and it's true, but it's also not true. God created. Okay, we are supposed to worship God, but that is not the main reason why God created mankind. We were not created only to worship God. God had worship in heaven. God had angels. Angels were there 24/7. Lucifer and his team and other angels were there. They were worshiping. Lucifer's body was made out of musical instruments. What are you talking about? God had the perfect worship ever. God had enough worship. He never wanted to create somebody else to worship him more. God had worship. The main reason why God created it wasn't worship, though we are supposed to worship God. I don't want you to get me wrong. The main reason God created Adam and Eve is so that He can have fellowship. Let me put it this way. God was bored. He was alone. He had no species of his own. He had nobody to relate with. You understand? So God was just there, the angels, and God. I talked about in the other video about the fall of Lucifer. God and angels are not the same. Angels are servants. They are created by God to serve God and also to serve mankind. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 13 to 14. They are ministering spirit, meaning they are servants. Now, God created mankind because he wanted somebody of his own, somebody to have fellowship with, somebody to have communion with, somebody to talk to, somebody to share power with, somebody to a partner, a child, somebody of his own, somebody of the same species as him. Now, this is the reason why God created mankind, so that he can have companionship and fellowship, not worship. But it's good. We were created to worship. We worship God. You have to worship God. It's good. But the main reason why God created us is so that we can have a good fellowship with him. Understand? Now, because of that, I talked about this also in the previous video. God created another territory because two kings cannot stay in one place. Therefore, God had to create. When God created man, he duplicated himself. So, once you duplicate yourself, that means if you're a king, you'll be two kings, and two kings cannot rule in the same territory. That's why God first created the earth, another kingdom, another territory, and gave it to mankind so that he can rule from there. He can have dominion the same way he rules in heaven. Remember the Lord's Prayer, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That was so from the beginning. So God created another kingdom so that man can rule from there. So that man can dominate the same way he dominates in heaven. So I want you to understand that the earth, when God created the earth, it was perfect. It was an extension of heaven. The earth was created in the same order heaven is. I want you to understand that what we see around is the fallen earth. Nobody has ever seen the real, actual, original creation which God made. It's only Adam and Eve who saw it. When they ate of the fruit, Adam and Eve were naked. They fell. Even creation fell. I want to understand that. Okay, the creation which we see, it's beautiful. I appreciate it. It's nice, but it's not the actual thing. There's some glory which was upon it, which went away. When Adam ate of the fruit, there's some glory which went away. It was created. Earth was an extension of heaven. That's why God could come to earth and talk to Adam. Adam never used to pray. God could come to earth and they used to stroll together. They used to take strolls together, talk to God. Imagine. Now, I want you to understand that when Adam and Eve were deceived by Lucifer, Lucifer came and deceived Adam and Eve to eat this. From the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Suddenly, they found themselves naked. Why were they naked? Because the glory which God created them with went away. Satan deceived Adam and Eve to eat the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, which would kill their divine nature. God told them, the moment you eat of this fruit, you will die. That means the spiritual side, you will die spiritually. And by doing so, when Adam ate the fruit, now, by them listening and agreeing to what Satan told them, what Lucifer told them, that if they eat the fruit, they become wiser. By eating the fruit, they obeyed Satan and disobeyed God, and it automatically transferred the dominion they had to Satan, to Lucifer. And by obeying Satan, they made Satan their God. And they disregarded God. That's why they made Satan to dominate the earth and made him the God of the earth. It is man who made Satan the God of the earth. It's not God. It was man. Foolishly, they gave the dominion to Satan. That's why Satan is now able to attack the stars of men. This is how stars are stolen. You understand how people's stars are stolen? Everybody has a star. I'm going to talk about in the next video. Everybody has a star, and the star of a person is the destiny of a person. This is how your star, your destiny can be stolen. Somebody can steal your star and use it spiritually. How? This is what the devil did. He stole the star which God gave to Adam. He stole that star. He stole the dominion. Once he stole the star of Adam, he took his dominion, he took his place, he took his territory, he took his power, he took everything. Mankind was left miserable. When your star is stolen, you are left miserable. You become broke, sick, everything, all bad things, because the blessing which God gave you, the blessing which you came with to this earth, has been stolen from you. That's what happened in the garden. That's when man fell. So sad. Man ate of the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil and fell. The glory of God which had covered his body. Mankind never used to wear clothes. He was covered in the glory of God. But when he ate of the fruit, the glory of God which had covered him left his body. He became naked. He found himself nude. This is when he became vulnerable. He became exposed. This is now how Satan can be able to attack, because the gates of his life were exposed. We're going to talk about this also in the next videos, about the gates of your life. I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and also please send us your financial contribution. Send us your donation using the information given, so that we can be able to spread the gospel throughout the world and minister to the lives of people. God bless you.